Good afternoon, and welcome to Transformation Thursdays. I'm Albert Young. We're running a few moments behind schedule. They had a Father's Day celebration a little early at the center, so we're just getting in. All right, here we go. 2 Corinthians chapter 10. 2 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 5. We demolish arguments and every pretension that sets itself up against the knowledge of God, and we take captive every thought to make it obedient to Christ. And I'll read verse 6. And we will be ready to punish every act of disobedience once your obedience is complete. All right. Discipline matters. Discipline matters. Now, for those people who like to do everything in with a certain format, I call them theologians, because they're good. They know their stuff. This is the Apostle Paul, and he's basically defending his ministry. He set down examples of how he thinks about discipline and how to control yourself. And so I feel that discipline matters. Whether we're talking about how you live as a kingdom member, or how you lead a household, or how you live your life, how you get promoted, discipline matters. How you approach it. How do you approach what it is you want to do? How do you approach becoming better? How do you approach it? What do you do? How do you write it down? Who do you speak to? All that plays a role in developing your discipline. Because the first thing you need to understand is what you don't know. All right. That's the key. What you don't know. You trying to get promoted on your job, and you sit up here talking to all the people who always getting written up. They show up late and they leave early, and then you wonder why you're not going anywhere. Because you're approaching it wrong. You got the wrong discipline. You got a few things going on with your spouse, and you trying to make it work. You're trying to make it work with your partner, but you keep talking to the Broken Hearts Club. You keep talking to those people that got a spouse, girlfriend, and a boyfriend, or some cases both, on the side, and you wonder why your house isn't getting any better, because you got the wrong approach. You got the wrong discipline. Discipline requires a different approach. It requires a plan. It requires self-evaluation. Who are you really? Before you go and get these relationships, who are you really? What things have you allowed to attach to you? All right, what habits have you allowed to attach to you? You're going to get this job, but what habits have you allowed to attach itself to you? What belief system have you put in place that may be hindering your progress? How are you going to approach discipline if you don't know who you are? How are you going to approach it? When you don't know how to get there, how are you going to approach it? So many times, all of us have had good ideas, and then we share those ideas with the wrong crowd, and we wonder why they fail. Discipline. Gotta discipline yourself who you share with. You gotta discipline yourself what you share with them. Especially I found that when you are on the move, when you are trying to become a better person, when you are trying to open up your own business, when you are trying to have better relationships, whatever it is you're trying to be better at, I have seen it on more than one occasion. You're trying to celebrate along the way. That's right. You're trying to celebrate along the way, but you got to pick who you celebrate with. Because some people who are cheering are actually, they're just cheering out loud, but they're looking to find a way to sabotage you, to sabotage you all along. There's an old song. There's an old song. I don't remember the group, but there's an old song. They say, they always smile in your face while he's trying to stab you in the back. They call them the backstabbers. See, they smile on your face, always trying to take your place. There it is. See, I knew I remember the lyrics. It's a little rusty, but I still remember the lyrics. The backstabbers. So this isn't all display. This isn't all about sharing. This who you share with. Who you share with. No, discipline. The approach. How you see yourself. The approach. Who you surround yourself with, the approach. Now, Paul was sitting up here talking about how to live a kingdom life, but I'm using it for any discipline. Whether you want to be a track star, you want to be a lead surgeon, you want to be the world's best janitor, custodian, whatever it is. There's a discipline involved, and you have to come up with the right approach for what it is you want to do. You want to be president, you got to have the right approach. You want to be the mayor, you got to have the right approach. The discipline. And then how do you align yourself? That's right. How do you align yourself? In other words, you see where you want to go, and you're working on getting the right people in place, but what is your plan? What is your plan? How are you aligning your life to reflect the plan? What things are you getting out your way? What people are you getting out your way? That's right, because if you're going to have a discipline to be better, there's some people you got to let go of, whether you like it or not. Didn't mean you can't talk to them every now and then. Doesn't mean you can't sit down and have a coffee with them. But there's some people you got to get outside the geo for. It's time for them to go. And when you see people voluntarily trying to leave, why are you chasing them down? Let them go. They want to go, let them go. There's a reason why they want to go, because they don't want to go where you go. And don't force them to come along. Nope. If people are trying to voluntarily leave, let them leave. So how you going to line yourself? Are you going to line yourself where you want to go, or are you going to line yourself on how you feel? Because to have discipline, you got to be willing to hurt your own feelings. I'm going to say that again. You're going to have discipline. You're going to have to be willing to hurt your own feelings. Because there's some things that you've had with you all along that you're okay with, that your discipline said got to go. And there's some people, I'm being redundant, there's some people, they're your ride-die partners. Have been your ride-die partners all along, but if you're gonna put together a plan, they may not be part of it. Because some people you love and they love you, but they can only go so far with you. That's as far as they can go with you. It doesn't mean they don't love you anymore. It doesn't just mean we can't go with you. This is where we get off the boat at. And you keep going that way. I remember I had pulled up at the bank one time, and I got out the bank, and I'm walking across the street, and a young man flagged me down. We're about 2 years apart, young man. But he flags me down. We started talking because there used to be a group of us, at the rec center. And he said to me, Albert, nobody's mad that you left. We knew sooner or later you was gonna live. I didn't see the plan that way, but they knew it was coming. And just like some of these people you're gonna walk away from, they already know you leaving. You don't know you leaving, but they know you leaving. They see who you really are better than you see who you really are. I went in the military. I'm just telling you old war stories. I'm telling you got to align with the plan. You got to align with it. How you approach it, got to align with it. I was working down there. We're in the shipyard, and I'm working down there. I'm just grinding away, and you couldn't even see anymore. And I stood up to let the dust clear, and I didn't even know that the Master Chief was standing next to me, one of the highest ranking non-officer members. And he said this to me. He says, when they put you in charge, never judge how it's being done. Just look for the finished product. I never saw myself being put in charge. Never wasn't. I wasn't even trying to be put in charge at that time, but he saw it. Those are the people you want to come across in your life when you start aligning. People who speak life into you. So how you gonna line with where you want to be? You can't keep partying all night long if you want to be successful. Doesn't mean you can't play hard and work hard, but it just you gotta align yourself. You gotta put that vision down on paper for yourself. And celebrate along the way. That's how you get there. But all of it doesn't matter. You can do all that planning. You can talk to the right people, do all that planning. But if you don't apply it, you don't apply everything you learn. You don't apply the new set of disciplines. You don't apply it. You wonder why you keep going around in circles, winding up in the same spot because you refuse to apply the discipline that's going to get you there. Ask yourself, why won't I apply the discipline that'll get me there? Do I really want to get there? That's the question. Do you really want to get there? Are you hungry enough? Is your sick and tired of being sick and tired, whatever it is? Do you really want to get there? Because for all those who really want to get there, you're going to make the sacrifices you got to make to get there. Even if you got to break your own heart, you're going to get there. Discipline. Paul was good at discipline. He was. Sometimes he bragged about his discipline. I don't know if that's good or bad. Sometimes he bragged about it. Here he's just justifying who he was. Why his ministry is successful. Just justifying it. But I take this text and I look at it as an example, a roadmap of what each one of us need to do to get where we're trying to get to. Whether you want to be a better kingdom member, you want to be a better spouse, you want to be a better business leader, you want to be a better supervisor, you want to be a better entrepreneur, you just want to be a better person, period. You want to get promoted, you want that job over there. There's a discipline involved. And Paul shared how you get there. How you get there. You got to fight. He didn't say you had to fight your friends. You had to fight these people over there. He says you got to fight yourself. Because when you fight yourself and you start winning, you put your friends in their proper place in your life. When you fight yourself, you put your family members in their proper place in your life. When you fight yourself, you learn how to get you learn how to get the naysayers away from you when you fight yourself. Because the most dangerous thing on the planet is a person who knows who they are and are heading where they're supposed to be. Because then nobody and nothing can stop them. You want to quit walking in circles? You want to quit winding up in the same spot all the time? Get some discipline. Learn how to fight yourself. Learn how to break your own heart. Learn how to change your own mind. Learn how to be a better you. And then head in that direction, and here it is, and cut off the outside noise. Cut off the outside noise. Listen to the spirit within. And you'll find yourself down the road a lot quicker and in a lot better shape. And everybody around you will appreciate the true you and not the face you've been putting on all along. Look. Thank you for watching today. Come on, keep walking with us. Keep walking with us. Keep walking with us. Keep walking with us. Tuesdays from 9:30 to 9:45-ish on Blitzkrieg Tuesdays. And hey, Transformation Thursdays now 12:30 to 1-ish. But until we meet again, God's peace and good journey. Live smart. Start to put together what it is you want to do and where you want to go. And run long. Become committed to it, no matter what anybody else says. Amen. Amen.